we do have a couple of strikes going on. We talk about it almost every day. It's the biggest thing going on in the world of entertainment is obviously the strikes. And we've also talked about some of the consequences and repercussions of the strikes, one of which has been a couple of movies have moved. Not because the movies haven't been finished, they are. Movies like Dune 2. But the thing is, that movie is packed with A-list stars. As long as the strikes are going on, they can't go out and promote that movie. So the people at the studio decided, you know what? It's probably going to be better for us to burn some money, move release dates, to have the benefit of those people, those performers being able to do press for it when it's time. So that actually brings us around to the topic of today's Mint Mobile hotline question of the day. Listen, guys, if you have a question you'd like to hear your voice on our show, go ahead and call our Mint Mobile hotline number anytime 24/7 at 951-268-4259. Every day we'll pick one or two questions. Today is about, will the studios just decide they don't even need the press junkets? Check it out.
Hey, John and crew. With movies still coming out during the writer's strike without having access to actor promos and press junkets and actor interviews, I was wondering if we see movies like Wonka or The Creator do really well financially without having to spend money on press junkets or actor promos. Could you see studios like Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Disney saying, hey, for some of our movies, we don't even need to do press junkets. We don't even need to do actor promos. Or would you think that doing actor promos and doing press junkets are just always going to be something that studios do? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for calling that in. And really, you bring up an interesting scenario that Hollywood is facing right now that I can't remember in any of the times that I've been covering movies we've ever had a situation like this where talent can't go out and promote the films they're doing. You know, it's funny. Who was it? Willem Dafoe. There was just a headline in Variety about Willem Dafoe saying he's completely heartbroken that he can't be out there promoting Poor Things. That's the one that I have very little interest in that movie, but it's getting banger reviews. Like a lot of people are saying it could be Emma Stone's next Oscar and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, we're in this situation that I can't remember being in before. So it brings into focus this whole point of press junkets. Dune 2 thinks it's so important they actually move the release date, whereas something like Color Purple doesn't look like that is changing release dates, although it doesn't have as many A-list stars in it as, say, something that Dune does. So, number one, the question is, would they ever decide they don't need to do press junkets? And then number two, do press junkets even make a difference? I mean, that's kind of a question that's implied in the message, right? Well, let's talk about whether or not the press junkets make a difference first. 1,000% press junkets make a difference. 1,000%. Not just the press junkets, but also the promotional tours. You know, whether it's the radio shows, the late night talk shows, podcast appearances. There we got Hemsworth and Evans with me doing the press day thing right there, of course. You know, and press junkets can be a lot of fun. You know what? I thought I'd share this one little clip with you. Speaking of press junkets and their value and whatever. Some of you may have seen this before, but I had the privilege once of,
that was your intro.
There was a little opportunity I had. One of my favorite things I've ever done was I got to actually be the moderator for one of the Avengers press conferences. And it was the day that Robert Downey Jr. publicly got really mad at me. Just in case you haven't seen it, check this out. Hands up already. We're going to start things off here. I actually have a question for Cody to start things off here. Oh, God. Maria Hill is one of my favorite characters in the MCU because she's one of these threads that ties...
I must be mellowing with age, but I want to say this very clearly. The next time I'm not asked the first question, fucking walk out.
And now, just to be clear, I have done interviews with Robert Downey Jr. after that, so it was all in fun. Okay. That being said, you raise a really interesting question. Like, what if something like The Creator or Wonka come out without press tours, without a press junket, without their stars doing interviews, and the movies still do well? Well, here's the thing. They're still vitally important. Because what the studios know is that even if The Creator comes out and does well financially, and Wonka comes out and does well financially, the executives know it would have done even better. They would have made more money had it gone out, because the number one thing is awareness. right? And so when people are at home and they're listening to their podcasts, watching their daily shows or watching late night talk shows, and the movie stars come out or the creators come out and talk about you're putting awareness out there of the movie. And that is a vital thing. Believe me, the studios have spent a lot of money doing studies on these things. It absolutely equates to dollars. Doesn't mean you absolutely must have them, but you'll always know you could have done better if you did. Now, that might make you ask the question, well, why doesn't every movie that's about to come out push their release date? Because moving release dates comes with a dollar figure. It costs a lot of money to move release dates. And so you got to ask yourself the question, if you're the studio, okay, in which scenario are we going to lose more money? Trying to put this movie out without any press, or trying to move release dates? In the case of Dune, they're missing out on more money if they try to do it without their stars, because they got so many A-list stars. So yes, they want to do it. They should do it. They always know the movie will do better. Now, the second part of that equation, in asking the questions like maybe they think they don't need to do them, remember, it's not really going to save the studios any money. Doing a press junket and having people go out and do interviews about the movie is the absolute most inexpensive part of film marketing there is. Like, you're spending like in multiples and factors of 10 times more amount of money, 50 times more amount of money on booking out television commercial spots and putting them out there, having your commercial for your upcoming movie come out on Monday Night Football, or buying a block of ad things through YouTube or whatever. That's where the real money is. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. Signing your life away to a big wireless provider is kind of like being trapped on a roller coaster from hell. Sure, it looks like fun at first. They probably even threw in a free phone, but now you can't get off. Month after month of insane bills and unexpected thrills, like overages and surprise fees. If that sounds like your current big wireless plan, it's time to get off the ride with Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are just $15 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for just $15 a month. You guys know before I came to Mint Mobile, I was paying triple what I am paying now on the standard big wireless plan, and I will never go back. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped right to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. And Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of the times, the actors going to do the press, that's just a part of their contract in doing the movie.
Yep.
Right.
And they're all in one room and the press is paraded in and out, as you know.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. They're not even changing outfits. The other group comes in. You're just there for a couple hours.
Yeah. And really so it would be saving them very, 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 very little money at the expense of having a lot of free publicity, and publicity has a direct correlation to dollars. So I would say it's a very good question, but I don't think it's something that the studios would consider. Chris, as somebody who's on the actor side of that as well, but as a film goer yourself, somebody who watches interviews and all that kind of stuff, the two parts of that question. Do you think there is an upside for studios not to do junkets anymore? And really financially, do you think they need to do them?
I think they absolutely need to do them. I think they could do more of what A24's done, some of that guerrilla marketing of, placing people at events like they did for Smile, doing things like that.
That was one of the coolest things, coolest marketing
well
gimmicks they've ever done.
And a little insider info right now, too. A lot of things on casting networks right now are saying they need brand ambassadors for things, not actors, not people to break the strike, but they need a brand ambassador to dress up like characters of a movie to help promote the film in that capacity. Yeah. So there's that workaround that already some studios are doing. We saw this with Disney with their Haunted Mansion stuff. They didn't have the actors there, but they had actors who were performing as attraction characters instead to kind of still feel like there was some kind of frivolity and excitement there. But I think you do need these people promoting their movies. I mean, for your basic moviegoer, most of them, if I think about my parents, it's, oh, I saw so-and-so on Kimmel last night and I didn't know they had a new movie coming out.
All the time.
That's usually
all
how
the
they do
time.
it. My parents love Tom Cruise. They just watched Dead Reckoning and called me about it yesterday. We're like, why didn't people see this movie? Why didn't you see it until now? And then for other people, younger audiences too, a lot of times you see these clips on Instagram, on TikTok that have been just kind of focused down into a 15-second reel. And then, oh my gosh, that interview with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling was so funny. I can't wait to go see Barbie. We need these things there. And I always defer to you on box office. I don't follow it as closely. But the last two films that did get wildly promoted were Barbie and Oppenheimer, with the cast promoting them.
Yeah.
We really haven't had anything. And sure, that was a spectacle, and people can talk about the kind of KO 2-pack there that was happening. But we haven't had anything that has had that much success at the box office or that much buzz afterwards. We all talk about movies all the time, obviously, on this show, and we're in our bubble. But my friends who aren't involved in the industry, at least not as intensely, they're not still talking to me about Strays. They're not still talking to me about Blue Beetle. They're not still talking to me about Joyride. All of which, by all accounts, fun movies.
Yeah.
But without people talking about them who are involved in them, I think everyone loses interest so much faster. And we are such a quickly digestible culture now. That's why binging happened for so long, and then we'd stop talking about a show, right? I think we need the presence of these actors and creators to get us to continue being invested in them and to get our butts to the box office.
I think Equalizer 3 is a good example of that, right? Like, it came out, made $34 million opening weekend, which was good for its that's right around where the whole franchise is open. But can you imagine if instead of just coming out, and a lot of people are like, wait, there's an Equalizer 3 coming out this weekend?
Yep.
If Denzel Washington or Antoine Fuqua had been out doing Kimmel and doing Fallon and doing like all the other shows as well. Like, I'm not saying that would have turned a $34 million opening weekend into a $70 million opening weekend, but it could have turned it into a $40 million opening weekend.
I think it really helps too in terms of comedy. So like Strays and Joyride.
Oh, they really,
because they would have also been written like skits to do on like Fallon or whatever. And then, why am I blanking on his name from Strays?
Will
Ferrell?
He's amazing on talk shows.
He's so good.
To your point, they're going to be like, oh, Ferrell was so funny and that clip was really funny. We should go check that out this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that's a movie that really would have benefited from having Jamie Foxx, now that he's back on his feet and everything,
Yeah.
Will Ferrell out there doing that. It would have been great.
Will Ferrell half the time didn't even promote his movies. He'd dress up like Little
That's
Debbie.
the thing.
All right.
But then at the end, Fallon's like, catch him in Strays this week.
Yeah.
Like, he has to do it for him.
Exactly.
I usually say these shows usually have exclusive clips anyways that are just that show it's able to premiere or something like that. Like, remember when Jimmy Kimmel, like even during the sports game, he's like, we got the exclusive trailer to Avengers, whatever, right? Going to play like premiere on the later show. It's like it gets the rumbling going. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's all part of the machine. It's all part of that
It's like
marketing
Taco Bell.
machine. It's all part important cogs. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.